Hello, people on the internet. My name is Letoya Johnstone, and this is Dialogues with Johnstone. Today, it's a fun time at the studio with the mighty,
yours
the legendary.
truly. Yes.
I want you to introduce yourself, please.
Oh, this is yours truly, Letoya Johnstone, exo, toy, baby, kill it with love, #boongaloo.com.
What does that mean?
Bring it!
What does that mean? What does that mean?
So basically, it is just, you see, in the Luo community, there is always this thing of park
Yeah.
You needed to bring out who you are. Anyar chief, anyar miroka, okasiem jigilweta. Asia mone gikuon, gitika. Mata chamena joka, toma. Darling!
So,
yes, go ahead.
I was introduced to you by the great Malela.
Oh,
how do you know that boy?
I swear to God of heaven, shockingly enough, Malela knows me. So one day I was on my live on Instagram, and out of the blues, Malela joins. So Malela knows me, and I think maybe I know Malela. It is either we are all coming from Homabay, or we've engaged. But this gentle human being joined my live and was having a good conversation, and he knows me very well, and he calls on the sister, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, Jesus Christ, I needed to meet this person. I don't even know how we exchanged numbers and we started the conversation. The only thing I know, there was this little handsome gentle child of God that was just so kind to me. He's sweet as a swisher. You are around him, wisdom, power, and can also lift your spirit. I call him the zeitgeist of good moments and the futures.
Can I ask you something beautiful?
Go ahead, my darling.
What makes you so happy?
That's really such an interesting thing. I think what makes me so happy is the heartbreak and the darkness that I've experienced in my life. And after you've really come from where I'm coming from, the best thing you can be is the sun, and make sure that other people are the moon, so that they are able to absorb your light and shine by themselves. Because when it is dark is when you get to see how bright the stars shine. Yeah.
You want us to talk about the brightness, but first of all, tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
Where you grew up.
Yeah.
Some of the childhood memories that you remember.
Yeah. So personally, I grew up in Kindu Bay. And after that, I also grew up in Homabay. But I've been a child who's been moving different places. So my early childhoods were in Kindu Bay all the way. And then later on in life, I was in Homabay, where I schooled and carried on. And Zippy Okoth was also our high school English teacher.
Is that so?
I'm telling you the truth. ZP was amazing. They could always sit down and start reading my composition, and all of them would burst. So it's something that is still there. So yes, my childhood, I went to Rubycraft in Kindu Bay, a bit. Then after that, Nyaburi Primary, a bit. Then after that, I went to Gotrobur, then Chiepe Primary, then oh my goodness, there's so many schools.
Why are you jumping? Why are you jumping?
I was jumping because I never had like some place that I could call a home. And it was because of my uniqueness that most people always get threatened by. So I think like when you are born a child who's a transgender like myself, the parents don't know where to put you. And for that reason, basically the journey starts by you can stay with this one, or you are left here without even saying anything. And that is how I ended up being in different places. Then after that, I went to Otok Secondary School. Actually, I started with the Homabay Academy, then where Zippy was our teacher. Then I went to Otok Secondary School. And then after Otok Secondary School, I ended up in college at Kenya Association of Professional Counselors, where I studied counseling psychology. But then after that, I also did my certification on HIV and AIDS testing and counseling with an organization that is called, what's the name?
You forget.
So I've not forgotten. It's just that it is something health. But when I remember, I'm going to remind you.
Yeah.
It is where the Michelle and Barack Obama were tested for HIV when they came to Kenya.
I remember that, but I also forgot.
Yeah, I will tell you, darling.
So,
after that,
yeah,
my life started immediately after high school, where I worked with Medicine Sans Frontiers, which is a MSF France, as a peer educator and also as a counselor. And yeah, sure, basically that's just how my life has been.
You're telling me that when you were born, you were a unique child.
Yes.
And people did not know what to do with you, how to handle you. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I was born a transgender woman, and being born a transgender woman basically means that you are either born male or female, but as for me, I was born male, everything male. So for that reason, you start showing up attributes of femininity, and femininity was something that if you were born male, the African community could not augur well with. And for that reason, it's basically like you're being taken to be prayed to, or they are trying, like the witch doctors, to try and remove all that darkness. You're being moved from like prayer people left, right, and center. Nobody pays so much attention because it is basically something that they could not understand. And they also don't want to like throw you away. But then it is just like you are always neglected without you knowing that you're neglected. You end up coming to learn about these things later on in life when you're now dealing with what we call childhood traumas. And you start asking questions, why is this one not like this? Why am I not being taken to school? I have to work as a maid from 9 years old in order to fend for both myself and my mama, while the other children were going to school and land was being sold to take them to school. And you come to learn that things were really different. It is just like really a serious plethora of I would say lethargic thought process that cannot be even contained, because some of them, either you hide them by either being happy or performing well in school, or you fail in school and you try to blame shifts and things like that. But later on in life, you end up either by creating workaholic traits so that you can heal the wounds in the process. Yeah, so basically, I think that's just it. The African society and the transgender people, they don't know how to. They would use the word gap, which would really translate to something unique, which could really also translate to sometimes an intersex, because, or sometimes they just don't know where, you don't belong anywhere. Je ne sais quoi. Yeah.
Something that is confusing to me, and probably was also confusing to the people around you.
Yeah.
When you talk about the fact that you were unique.
Yeah.
And you had some feminine things around you.
Yeah.
The people that were looking at you,
yes.
Were you looking at the behavior, the attitude? Were they looking at the physical?
That is really an interesting question, because when you are a child,
yeah.
you don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't even know if you are either male or female. You just know you are Letoya. You just know you are Houston. You just know you are Johnston. You don't know who you are. You are existing. You just know this one is my brother, this is my sister. So I wouldn't really know what they were thinking, but one thing, while I am old enough right now, I am able to get to see the feminine traits, because most of the time, majority of people think that I am on hormonal therapy and that is why my skin is glowing and I'm feminine, I'm beautiful. But no, if you know the people who have known me all my life, I was just born feminine woman. And the difference is that in as much as you are born male, you are a woman in your head. And that is the reason as to why it really challenges people because they don't know how to package things. Because people are either born male or female, and there are societal norms and societal traits that somebody needs to follow in order for you to be there. So by the time you're reaching to be a teenager and they don't see that one happening, your games are around the girls, you're more comfortable cooking, you are still wearing your dresses that you used to wear when you were young. Because when we were young, I was just wearing the dresses and nobody ever bothered about it. Until when now you want to start going to church, then now they pick for you the clothes. Or you want to go to school, then now they will have to pick for you the clothes for either male or female. And then another thing that is also coming in is the societal gossip and conversations. So they use that to attack your parents, so your parents are coming to attack you.
Is that so?
As they doing that, they are thinking that they are fixing you. Be a real man. You need to be a man. Stop playing with the girls. Why do you like the kitchen so much? You are a man. Go and graze the cows. Why do you really like, why are you not fighting back when people beat you up? Why are you always, because I am a nurturer. So I love taking care of people. I love making sure there is peace. So this kind of femininity, and then also the way I walk, I don't even walk, I float.
I saw that.
Exactly.
What were you doing in that hotel where you were walking up and down?
Yeah. So basically, we have this thing that is called Africa's Next Supermodel. That is by Joanne Okorodudu. Joanne Okorodudu owns ISIS Models. And ISIS Models, if you are somebody in the fashion industry, she collaborated with Zozani, who was the Italian editor-in-chief of Vogue. And for that reason, they came together and created like this amazing Africa's Next Supermodel that she's now doing in Kenya because it's an African and a global thing. It is basically, if you remember during Ajuma Nasenyana and also during the likes of Damaris Muga, it was called Nokia Africa's Next Model or something of the sort. So basically that is what they're doing, or America's Next Top Model. So it is a version of that, but looking for different girls that are unique that can end up being fashion models. And now I am the one who's working with her styling the girls, but then also being able to give my thoughts and also help them. Because Africa is really the big thing. How, unfortunately, I don't want to digress so much because we can talk much on that. But basically,
go there, trust me.
But the reason as to why I was walking there, it was because I wanted to show people how to walk on the runway. Because people think that walking on the runway is like walking on the street. You need to have a personality, you need to have a demeanor, and you need to also learn which one is your autotype. Are you couture? Are you bombshell? Are you sexy bombshell? Or are you next doja? You understand? Or
I don't understand.
You will understand. So basically, those autotypes makes models to be either the breakout models, makes you a supermodel, while other models are just working models.
Okay.
And this develops campaigns which then brings in millions and billions of money. So that catwalk was basically, I was with the human rights called AHEA, which is Eastern Africa Awards for Human Rights that are in Africa. And right now it is actually African Activist and Human Rights Awards, which is like really a big work that is being done. So I was just showing them how it is done, because mostly they see me on TV or on the runway or on the fashion TV, but they're just like, Letoya, can you show me how you do it?
Yeah.
So other people, while they're walking, whenever I try, I float.
Yeah. So let's take some steps back to that time that you're a young girl. People want to give you a male clothes to go to school. They want to give you male clothes to go to church. Do you remember some of this specific conversation that you had with your parents? Like, this is not what I want. Do you remember? Do you remember how it turned out?
Yes, I remember. One day I was given, I was in high school. And while I was in high school, everybody was wearing game skates to run the sport. And this is in Otok Secondary School. So I pulled out a hot pant that is shorter than your temper. running 100 meters, and I was the bottom one with my longer matronical legs, darling.
How did that go?
Nobody ever ran in the school again. And all these good things.
Yeah.
And a uniform was brought in that if you want to participate, then you've got to. I never went to the field again. Another thing that is happening is that my parents will always be just like, they find you by the road and they start beating you. They're asking you, why are you plating your head? They would do, why are you doing blowout? During those times, there used to be blowout. You use Venus and then it makes you, straightening using chemical. And they would beat me up and they would ask me to remove the female clothes and wear all these other things. And it looked like they were correcting me, of which sometimes whenever we look back, it's not like we are hating our parents, because even themselves, there is an influence that is coming from the larger community, translating to, look at that one. In short, they are saying,
yeah.
Translating to, you are actually an incompoop of the family.
Yeah.
Or you are the outcast of the family, or you're the devil in the family. So your parents are always trying to fix you so that they can make their good name outside there be good. So I think those were some of the challenges that came about, gave me several marks, made me sleep in the dog kennel because all the time I was always kicked out, and also got me to start working as a maid from when I was 9 years old.
They were no longer taking you to school?
They didn't like me.
Your parents?
I was never associated with them. Yeah. I was never loved.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I stayed at ZP's home most of the time because the dad was a lawyer and the mom was really a beautiful entrepreneurial lady, that her home was like a safe house where everybody could branch and come, and her ports were always open. And it was because of her that now I was able to go to school, because I could be able to see the other children go to school. I was always at the bottom, but once I started associated with her children, then I started picking up because I wanted to be like them, learning to read books by yourself, trying to participate, trying to write, trying to be, and that is how I became. I created my own light. Yes.
You know, sometimes when your parents die and you become an orphan, you feel the pain, but you also know where they have gone.
Exactly.
But then, how does it feel when your parents are there, they are alive?
Yeah.
And you know in your heart that they don't like me for who I am.
So I even came to learn later on in life that my real mom passed away. And you see, like in the Luo community, when you are adopted, there is no such thing as manya tingane.
Yeah.
It is always like, this is Nyatewa, this is mom, this is dad, full stop. And I think you don't really get to know or to understand these things, because as a child, there are only 2 things or 3 things that disturb you. Number 1, where are you going to sleep? Number 2, have I eaten? And then number 3, why am I at home and other people are going to school? After that, the rest you will like really heal in the game from Kati that we used to play with the girls. When you are playing with everyone, you don't even know. Your problems start coming at 6 p.m. when it is about to get dark and now everybody's going home. Then you realize that you're the only one who's remaining with the polythene ball at the playground. And everybody's passing and is greeting you, but nobody's asking you to come home. And everybody's asking you, how is mama doing? How is dad doing? And you're saying, they are fine. Please send my greetings to them. I will. But you're going nowhere. When it reaches at night, you go to the dog's kennel. I still remember when sometimes my dad could find me at home and he could say, Mary Adwanendo. And that one meant I needed to go look for a place to go sleep.
But why couldn't they just allow you to sleep?
I wish I could really get to understand.
Because what would happen if you slept?
that is really something that I should be able to ask some of my family members. How does it feel to sleep at home with your parents?
Fuck.
Darling, it's life and it's a journey that I walked. Basically, these are things that we will never get to understand. But once you start studying psychology or getting interested into the human behavior, why things happen they do, and also learning life, then you will come to realize that you had parents that never went to school, and only one went to school and was extremely brilliant, and that was my dad, because the people that he used to beat in school are nowadays professors and things like that. And himself, he became a fisherman. Brilliant young man who could speak fluent English and could really be a leader, but then never finished school to the standard that was required in order for him to impact things like that, of which I'm so happy, because could he have gone to school, maybe I could have never been born. Nonetheless, all these journeys are really heavy dialogue and conversations that right now, through my organization, is really so whatever, our organization, Transuri, which really translate to beautiful things that can be experienced from the lives of transgender people, is actually shifting the paradigm and coining the narrative and using the arts and the culture to be able to advocate and have a conversation with the people, whereby we take them back into njokolo njokolo mina koko akoko mdere gema anyango nyado matiwe kinyi dolgo kinyi. Or when we are just
what is the meaning of that song?
Well, njokolo mina koko basically, I didn't know the meaning, but what I knew was that you are to point onto the knee while you are singing that. And when they say doll, basically was fold this one, and this other one you will fold tomorrow. The whole thing behind it, I've never known. And I think that one is really some of the things that now we want to start deep diving to try and understand if we were singing the right things or if we got the lyrics wrong. But then again, what did it mean and why was it like really put on? It's just like how sexuality was being done in an interesting way. People used to think that you tie a belt around your waist because you're a woman, but no, it was a way of preparing you so that when you reach a teenage life, you are able, even however long your dress was, it was to make the other gentleman look at you and say, damn, that chick, that one is worth 100 cows, this one is worth 2, this is worth this, no, that one, because slimness is nowadays like an in thing. But during those days, if you were curvaceous, then you were a girl who was well bred, so cows were to be more. If you were skinny, they were just like, you needed to make her eat more. But nonetheless, such is life. But that is where Njokolo Mina Koko is coming from. Just small childhood games that you wish you could like really put together and make sense and just like really make you, like calm you down or make you be a part of a certain era and create friendships. It was like a way of weaving friendships and allyship within the children that later on would grow and will make you walk together or remember your journey so that you don't end up forgetting your past or who you are.
I want to ask you a question. I think again we'll keep circling back to your childhood, yeah?
Carry on.
The people looking at you are looking at a male, but you are feeling like a female, correct?
I'm not feeling like a female. I am a woman that is born in a man's body. Let me make it as simple as that. Yes. I think that one, because my womanhood is not something that is manifesting in my body.
Okay.
If I wanted to manifest in my body, then either I'm going to use what we call transitioning. And transitioning, there is social transitioning. Social transitioning is where you can paint your nails, you can braid your hair, you can look feminine. It is something that you present that people get to see, that's a girl. Yeah. But then You can move from the place where people know you as male and go to another place where people don't know you. So if you are born Joshua, then you are going to call yourself Joyce. Because these people don't know you, in this place they're going to know Joyce. That is social transitioning. What you give to people that they are able to consume at their eye. How does a woman look like? So apart from that, there is also medical transitioning. But before we get to medical transitioning, there is also what we call transitioning by the law, whereby you go for a name change. Now you are George, but right now you are Joyce, or you are John, and now you are Joyce, or Janice. And because you're Janice, this will need to reflect on your ID. So you go through the process which can be helped, where you can be helped through different people and some maybe other people who really knows how to do the process, and you do the name change. After you've done the name change, unfortunately in Kenya, there is no legal gender recognition, so you will still remain male on your ID, but your names, the way they are female, is going to be there. Now this one takes us to the medical transitioning, of which medical transitioning involves either going for surgeries or having hormonal therapy, which can be administered after proper counseling. You've been taken through the processes and you're given opportunity to choose if you still want to go through it. And it is mostly done by people who are above the age of 18 that are able to give consent, that now are fully able to understand themselves, and nobody is coercing you to do it. You choose it by yourself, by how you feel. So that that woman that you were born, that is here, can be manifested here.
I understand.
Thank you.
Now let me ask you a question. And even the way your organization would deal with it.
Yeah.
For example, it is time to go to a boarding school.
Yes.
You might want to go to a female boarding school.
Yes.
But they want to take you to
the boys' school.
Yeah.
It happened while I was in Homabay Academy. I used to hang around girls, and I used to sleep sometimes in the girls' dormitory. When I was not able to pay the school fee, and I was kicked out of the school, I was taken to a talk secondary school. Remember, these schools, I'm not being taken to them. I was called to Mirogi Boys when I did my KCP. But my dad never took me there because he was the one with the final say. So I was taken to because I come from a profound family. So there is this relationship that was there. So I was taken to Homabay Academy because there was a way they were related. So when I was not able to pay the school fee, I was taken to Otok Secondary School. I was taken because the principal was married to my stepsister.
This was mixed, or
it was a mixed school.
Yeah.
And remember, the reason as to why I'm being taken here is because I could not be taken like other people who could go to any other school, and you don't understand. So later on, while I was in school, the cleanest girl or boy, as it could have been during that time, amazing, smelling good. Chastity used to be the perfume, darling, and it used to be expensive, and I used to spray it. I used to be just a clean kid. Nivea on my underarms, and everything was pristine clean or white. So can you believe that I used to sleep in the girls' dormitory, that one day a deputy principal found out, and after finding out, it brought me a lot of problem that I even was like really almost expelled from the school. And the girls had to come and say, no, Johnstone was not touching us, never did anything bad to us. We were just storing, we were happy, and we just slept. That is what saved me. Because according to them, what was I doing in the girls' dormitory when I'm supposed to be sleeping in the boys' dormitory? And remember, these things I was doing them unknowingly. You're just having your friends and you're just having a good time and we're about to close. Boom. So, yeah, that one, to answer your things, those were some of the challenges that I faced.
Did they have a conversation with you, the teachers and the head teacher?
Yes, they did.
Did they ask you...
what is wrong with me? What is happening? They couldn't understand me.
What did you tell them?
Not the truth.
What was the truth? What did you tell them?
We were just there with the friends, and we were just girls. And they were like, no, you're not a girl. You are a man.
And that's the question I'm asking.
Exactly.
And that's the conversation that I'm asking.
They could not understand it. And I didn't know what else to say. Were they frustrated?
Were they angry?
They were angry. They were frustrated. They were just wondering what is going on. And remember, this is a village school whereby the borders were like around 15 only. And the boys were like, I don't know, like 5, and the girls were 10. The rest of the people were day scholars.
And they would
everybody knows everyone.
They would be frustrated, they would be angry.
Exactly.
But there would be no solution. Would you tell them that when they asked you, when they look at you in the eye and tell you, you are a boy, what do you say?
And I tell them, I understand what you are saying, but that is not what I was feeling. I didn't touch any girl inappropriately. There was really nothing that was going on. When you're a child, you just say the truth.
Yes.
And girls now could be called in one by one, please say the truth. Did he touch you? Did this and this happen? Could it have happened to somebody while you were sleeping? They were just trying to find out, but nothing happened, and all the girls said the truth. So I was only suspended for 1 week. I came back to school, and I was never suspended again.
And they told you keep your distance?
Of course, they had to do so. I remember my maths teacher, because I was always sitting in front, because I was the dumbest kid in school.
What does that mean?
It means that I could score 0 in Swahili. I was never good in school. I was always getting E, F, or W that could have been there. I think maybe one day I might have gotten Z. Maybe the papers just never came back.
You don't look dumb now. What was going on then?
I have no idea. Most probably it could have been my life.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to do things. I came to learn how easy high school was after I finished high school, of which I never went to school for the past 3 months, which is like a whole term, and I ended up scoring a C minor. I think I was in among the top 15 or top 20 people. You should have seen how I ran in that school. I almost became naked. And the teachers were so happy. They were just from the cooks, and because everybody knew Letoya. I was the kid who was always skating inside the dormitory because I had skating shoes. Class that used to come with glass. They stole those shoes, and I'm still mad at that school.
They stole the shoes?
Yeah.
And who was skating in them? They didn't know how to skate?
They didn't know. They were just like,
oh my God.
Oh my God. I think that is how my skating died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that you're enjoying this program. Over the last 15 years, I have been working online for clients in America, in Europe, and all over the world. And that is why it pains me a lot when I see a lot of African brothers and sisters saying that they do not have a job. Now, this is the problem. A lot of people are trying to look for a job in 2024 in their own town, in their local area. Now, the truth is, there are no jobs in Africa, at least not so many jobs. The good news is that we have internet these days. We have a tablet, we have a computer, we have a phone, and that means that we can do a lot of jobs, and those jobs are online. That is why over the last 4 years I've been writing a book that is called Digital Goldmine. It is a book that explains to you how you can earn money online. The 18 hustles that I've chosen are basically for Africans, because what happens when you are doing online jobs is that payment is usually a problem. So these 18 side hustles that I have put together in this book, you can be paid very well and very conveniently. Okay, so the book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. That is about $10. You can buy it in Kenya using paybill number. You can buy it online from anywhere in the world using a credit or a debit card. All the information about this book is in the description below. And if you have a brother, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have a friend who is sitting at home and watching Netflix, please do buy this book for them. If you are the one sitting at home and watching Netflix and have nothing to do, please buy this book and your life is gonna change forever. Because I have been doing this online and I've been traveling and I've been enjoying myself and having a lot of fun. So thank you very much, and now back to programming.
Yes,
do you think that now that you are in an organization that is tracking these children from a younger age, do you think that the treatment at home contributed to your academics?
Yes, that one is really true. I think it is what really made me not to be dumb, because even primary school I did primary school twice. I moved from class 3. I went and sat class 8. I think my certificate is still at GP, and that one is Johnston, Houston. Then later on I came to go to Tabor, skipped some few classes too, and sat class 8. And I scored, I think it was 257 out of 500. Yes.
Which is good enough.
It was the first time that people were actually doing, I think the 5 thing.
Yeah.
I was just like, God, Jesus Christ. I don't even know how I pass exams. And I think maybe that when I'm reading, I start yawning, I get tired, and things like that. I don't know what, oh my God.
Right now you don't yawn when you're looking at Instagram. Your Instagram is lit. What's going on there, man?
Oh, baby, it is called Killing It with Love. Hongolo.com. I think I grew up and I became the real woman that I was born to be.
Yeah.
I harnessed myself. I had a dialogue with my past and the darkest part. I tried to heal as much as I could. I spoke to a few people like Nyawira Githaiga. Dr. Nyawira Githaiga, we met with her during the MSF time. And during that time, that was when I was raped and left to die. And even in the hospital, Homabay District Hospital, the doctor refused to treat me because everybody was just coming to get to see who is this girl, who is a boy, who's been raped, that people are looking at. It was like a crazy thing. I almost died, but anyway, Nyawira Githaiga was the one who was, nowadays she's got really a counseling space in Nairobi. And she's the one who kept on taking me through the counseling sessions and also through the PEP sessions, all the way, pre-exposure prophylaxis. And after that, I became a peer educator because I think from what happened to me, I think it was, it made me really love talking to people because I'm also talkative. And I think through those kind of darknesses, coming to understand them made me to heal from them. Well, not completely because it's still a journey. Sometimes something can be a trigger. Yeah. Sometimes something can really do this, but I am able to manage and carry on. So my organization is also not dealing with the children, but basically if there are parents with unique children, we talk to the parents because those are the adults, because the children belongs to the government. And I don't want my organization to be close somebody saying that I'm teaching the children or I'm picking the children and bringing over. No,
do they say that?
People can be really crazy, my darling. Remember anti-gender movement? Where did it start? From Homabay. Family Protection Bill. Do you remember it? Who dropped it in Parliament?
Politician from Homabay.
So you need to be in a position whereby you are in a position where you try your best not to be in the wrong side of the law with the government. You give the Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and you pick what you are able to. We are only dealing with mature people who have found out who they are and they know how the journey needs to be, and we are able to talk with them and we are able to offer counseling support, and through that they are able to be in a journey of living authentically the way they were supposed to be. Like personally, I'm a beautiful woman, intelligent, amazing, and trying to like really shift the paradigm and change the narrative. And I hope I'm doing it in a better way, because from failing in school to being named a fashion icon by BBC, that one is not something that comes easy. Being able to style people for the cover of magazines like Parents magazines and working in the spaces which were dominated. I came in during my time, all models were skinny. Nobody wanted a plus size model in. I am the person who introduced the first plus size people, first people who are living with disability, and also made sure that the runway was inclusive and diverse enough. And it included everyone, irrespective of your gender, sexuality, including the members of the LGBTQ community. And that one opened doors. And while I was doing that, I also started working with the people with disability, because I wanted inclusivity and diversity to be real. During that time, dark-skinned girls, if you looked at even the time of Lupita Nyong'o when she won Miss Malaika, beating Ajuma Nasenyana, the supermodel, it was really crazy. They were not given their flowers in better ways. So I had to bring in the dark-skinned people into the modeling industry and to tell people, listen, this is what we have in Africa. This is how the Nilots look like. Even though these other people are looking like this, this is what needs to be. So we don't need pale, and then your photos are also still being taken and over-edited to become almost white. We just need people who look like us in order for us to be able to sell to the right people. And there is no way you are going to sell clothes to somebody with disability or a plus-size person when they don't see their people on the runway. And those things affected the business of even people like Victoria's Secret. I think the secret that Victoria had, even Victoria did not know. Because right now is when Victoria is including plus-size people and transgender people on the runway. And that was a global work.
I understand when you say that you want to deal with mature and adult people who have made their decision. But I think the young you needed your organization.
That is really true.
So why, I feel like because you fear the government, you are letting the young you down.
That one would really be said, but I don't think if I am letting the young me down, because then now the parents who decide to reach out to Letoya, I can talk to them and they are able to find better ways of nurturing or living with their children. Because if I go to their children, these parents could be the people who could go to the police. What will I say I was doing with somebody who could not give consent? In as much as it is complex, I don't want to make it more complex, because the laws of the land are superior than all of us. So it is not me letting the younger me down. It is the government of Kenya and the African constitutions that make the LGBTQ community or trans people be looked at as if we are not human beings that are letting us down. I can't come and teach you your child how to live with you, but I can talk to you and help you understand how best you can live with your child. And as I always say, you can be amazing all you are, but a diamond is just a dirty stone underneath. Until somebody gets it, takes it through the process, and somebody can now later on sing with it on TV. If you really like it, put a ring on it.
You've got lots of rings.
Well, I also have lots of powers. How do I look?
I'm going back. I keep going back.
And I love the fact that you keep on going back.
So there is a parent on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
You can clearly see that they have a child.
Yes.
The child is struggling, like you were struggling.
That's correct.
The family is struggling.
Yes.
Well, you could say, if I approach the child,
Yeah.
they could turn around and say that I was influencing their child the wrong way. But do you think you could be brave enough to go to the parent and say, are you struggling?
One thing about human rights is that while you are fighting, don't forget that a better human right is good alive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to lose your life while you are fighting for other people. Although in some cases it is worth it, or these things happen in the line of the duty, but then at the same time, it is always important to create a good rapport with the families of these people, have dialogues with them that is meaningful and engaging, tread carefully while you are making them see the sense, and also you need to counsel the parents first. It is a journey rather than a destination to self-discovery or understanding what you have. Because the forces are coming from left, right, and center. It's coming from the church, it's coming from the constitution, it is coming from the religious leaders, it is also coming from the youth and the larger society. And for that reason, you might never know. You might think that you are looking forward to healing this person and that you're going to do it like that, but it might not look like that. Some parents just love their children be like that and nobody's talking about it, and they love keep on sneaking like that, crying under the pillows or whatever, but they don't talk about it because maybe they're afraid that immediately they start talking about it, then it is like you're really making them be cognizant of what is in front of them. And like they always say, sometimes when your child is bright, people always say, maybe she is bright because she is not good looking. Or maybe he's just too good looking and is performing well because they have money. Or it is just that school is the one that is below standard. So everybody talks about everyone, and all that matters is where it is coming from. You live your authentic self so that the parents will find their way to find you. And if this person comes to you, this child, who loves you for who you are or has watched you on TV, then let them talk to their parent and tell their parent, look, did you watch Jagero? Can you believe that woman is also like me? That is how I feel. I am not this, I am that. And the parents will have dialogue with their children, and hopefully things will change. I'm so glad that at least we are in the world of Gen Z where these kids are smart, open-minded, are unafraid, and untamed, and then bold enough. So maybe they will teach their children, their parents something. But we don't want to touch what belongs to the government. However much you'd really want to help, the best thing you can do is have conversations with the parents of these people. If you're able to convince them and come through, take them through the process of psychologists, let them also be there, because also it is not only something that is lost on the parents, it is also something that is being lost in you. Mm-hmm. Because the old you is going and the new you is coming out. And this new you is the person that you've always been all the time. It is called reaching the core. And most people are afraid of that because that part is dark. And that one is not something that we are able to heal. I was just a fabulous child who was playing catty with the girls, sleeping in the girls' dormitory, being fabulous, and was always respectful and kind, because apart from that, I was always a very respectful kid. And I wanted to just go to school and do my things. But what did my parents do? They decided to be who they wanted to be, either because of the forces that they were. So even if other people wanted to help me, how could they, when my own parents didn't even like me? They also told their children not to play with me. So the children could only play with me while they were away. Now tell me how I'm coming to fix that in a country that is homophobic, and the system and the policies are not even pro-human rights when it comes to beautiful human beings like ourselves.
Can we talk about, there are several people that you've mentioned, the government, the church, the religious leaders, and there's God. Have you ever thought about God?
I love God. I am a child of God. I am the one with the Lord. But nothing of mine can happen without me praying. The church raised me. That's the only place I knew. I could stand there and pray for people. They're sick even if I was not going to see them in the hospital because I was a young kid. I could go to the drama. I could be there. It is only in the church where they used to say, love thy neighbor like you love yourself. But immediately they leave the church, they become Onyango, Njoroge, Nancy, Adhiambo, Auma, Pungulu, Pangala. Ongino nyakanyang injate.
Oh my God.
Yathini okadwa nene wangdona. Which one is this?
No.
Some.
What is it?
A certain country.
You know, I was asking you a question.
A certain uncle man one day asked,
Yeah.
What are you doing with this thing?
The question I wanted to ask you actually.
Go ahead.
You see, the reason why I was asking you about God is that they're gatekeepers of God.
They are.
You know, the priests, the pastors.
Mm-hmm.
They have a problem with people like you.
Do you know the interesting thing about the people of God and the church is that if you bring them together to have conversations with them so that they are able to understand, you will look for money, put them down, have conversation with them, things are really good, expecting them to be like on the other side. But while the homosexuals were being killed in Mombasa, being beaten, being whatever, who are the people who are actually anti-genders who are like really carrying placards and walking away with them? The church came together, they didn't want us. The Constitution was mentioned while they were fighting us.
They call you guys sinners.
Exactly.
Do you agree?
Well, the last time I checked, the man of God turned Shakahola into a genocide. But he's outside here in a big mansion bungalow. So show me God, and I will show you heaven. I know there is the universe. I know there is a spirit, a being, or whatever it is that we are being told that must have created us. I know there is the Bible that is talking about Adam and Eve being created. And if it is about sin, I just want to know how the children came from them and how they ended up. People were killed in the name of you will go to heaven when you die. We saw them on TV, they were captured, the bones, the process. But still people go to church. So with me, my God is the universe and the being. It is always that safe space that when I close my eyes and I connect with it, my things happen. When I remove my shoes and I step on the earth and I request, that which I've requested for comes to me. It's just that the only name that I know it with is God. But then again, I find God in each and every one of us. Mm-hmm. When you take care of me, when you share my story, when you call me and you treat me with dignity, how you've been calling me Jaber, or she, or her, that is respect of the utmost. You being kind to me behind these cameras and being just a normal human being with me, irrespective of how I'm presenting. Now that is God. That is the verse of love thy neighbor the way you love thyself. But when a priest is able to kill people, the man of God, who knows God more than other people, that people contribute to, is able to go scot-free, then I don't know which one is a cult, which one is a sin, and which one I want to be taught. And the good thing with me is that I am a learner in this life. And being a student is one of the most profound things that could ever happen. And I'm looking at all these people the Church of God did, and how these people are even like really getting out of spaces and whatever is happening when everyday people are in charge. They hackneyed. Do they ever have guilt? Anyway.
The government.
Yes.
And the Constitution. They're supposed to protect you.
That is what the Constitution says. As a citizen of this country.
Do you think it protects you?
Well, one thing that I know is that when they're looking for votes, there is no LGBTQ community. Vote for us. They can even come to your spaces and ask for your vote. But immediately people get to power, then there is always a law that is bigger than all of us. And I'm not saying that the government, like we have a terrible constitution. We have one of the most amazing constitutions that if it could be implemented and a few spaces be changed and inclusivity be found, we will really be having brilliant and impeccable leaders that could really take this country to the next level. But sometimes I always say, maybe these things are even beyond me. I shouldn't even be able to talk about them, but at least be able to have conversation by letting them know, listen, we are not coming to do anything wrong. We are just being authentically who we are. And we don't, just like a woman and a man is doing whatever they are doing, we just want to go to school. We just want to be able to get the same opportunity like other people of the society. We are learned and we'd really love to be able to transition into the larger community as part of the community. Be ourselves authentically, make sure that at least we raise our children. Some of us are breadwinners in our homes. We just want to sit down in the market at Toy Market and sell fruits. Yeah? We want to tie our wrappers around our waist and just like really do other things. We want to go to school and become professors. We want to sit down and teach people to be good children of the future or people of the future. Because some of us are teachers. Some of us are engineers. Some of us are architects. Some of us are executive directors of organizations. We are a bunch of beautiful things. But these things people don't focus on. They only focus on what are you doing in your bedroom, which shouldn't be the case. Men are killing women every single day. Femicide, according to Dr. Raila Odinga, was actually a homeland security threat. But women are still being killed up to now. Why can't Constitution be bent to protect the women? These are bigger things that need proper conversations and meaningful engagement. Now people are afraid to even have relationship. It's like when you are going to bed, you need a lawyer, you need a psychologist, and you need a therapist, and you need everyone.
All of them together.
All of them. And you rape naked and you go, so that in case he is raising his hand, the police can arrest. The lawyer can
get what you're saying.
Because that is the only thing that is going to make women be like protected.
Yeah.
But even if you leave that one alone, even when people are talking about women, it is not all women. It is women. The transgender women are left outside. The LGBT community women are left outside. They want to put you into the male or female. You go to the hospital to get treatment, it is male, female, and others. Who is the others? Because I've never seen in the ID where it is written others.
It's not.
Exactly.
By the way, I'm going to ask you about as we finish, what your organization does.
Yes. So, go ahead.
The idea of male and female is problematic. Do you think?
I would say it is interesting. Because problematic gives it a connotation of disgust. I think people need to understand that there is gender beyond male and female. And if whoever wants to disagree with me, I call them to the table. What about the intersex community? You give birth to a child, and when you give birth to a child, how do you know that this one is male or female? If we are going literal, that, oh, you know, like a man looks like this and a male look like this. Have you ever thought of an intersex person?
As a matter of fact, I would like to speak with one.
Well, that's why this is Dialogue with Jagero.
Tell me about your organization as a rapper.
Yes, so my organization is known as TransAlliance. TransAlliance is a community-based organization located in Homabay County in the rural. And TransAlliance is a young organization that is still upcoming, that is dealing with the issues of human rights and is also advocating for the rights of the marginalized community, which is the transgender, intersex, and gender non-conforming individuals. And right now we are focused on using the arts and culture, because with me I come from a background of fashion. And around there is no proper documentation of people like me who's been there. And for that reason, it is all about telling the stories while letting people get to know that we are also advocating for our rights, and we do understand the intersectionalities that are there. And for that reason, we need to exist, and we are also offering economic empowerment to the marginalized people like ourselves that cannot be given jobs in the government until you produce your ID that's like either the name that is dead name, or you need to be either male or female. So creating those opportunities, actually making them, taking them through the processes that can make them understand that they are able to coexist in order for them to experience their exponential potential, even when they are living in a chaotic society. In short, making people get to understand that they can rearrange the chaos, coexist, and be able to understand how to make money, the intelligence around money, and also how to make money work for you instead of you working for your money, in order for you to be a good, law-abiding citizen that is able to live in the community and is able to contribute to the community, both as a citizen and as a person.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Letoya. It was really nice chatting with you. As I always say, one of the reasons why I started Dialogue with Jagero is to learn. I've learned so much about people.
Yeah.
And when you speak with people intimately, you get to understand their pain. You get to see their feelings. You get to feel their feelings.
That's true.
You see? I wish you well with
you.
your organization.
Thank
As
you.
a person,
yes.
I think you are happy, you are bubbly, you are amazing.
Ah, darling, you keep on saying that you will go to heaven.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So to the people of the internet, thank you very much. The conversation here is about knowledge and about deeper things. Please consider subscribing if you want to be a guest on this episode, on this podcast. I ask you to come. You can reach out to me. And until another episode, bye for now.